How to fight fairly. There is a way for you to disagree with people and not come away feeling hurt or have the relationship damaged. Whether it's a long-term relationship, whether it's someone who you barely know, or even if it's someone like a shop worker or someone who is a service person at a place where you're getting service, like a restaurant or a shop or something like that, who you're having a disagreement with. You can lead by example, and you can go into the disagreement with the 8 simple rules that I'm about to tell you, and have it be a more positive experience on the other side. And I will even dare to say it could be a growth experience that helps you to grow together, especially if it's a longer term relationship. These are the things that help create character and bonding in those relationships, only if you're fighting fairly. So that's what you are going to get today. If that sounds good, stick around. Before we get to the goods, check and see if you're a subscriber here, because we are dropping videos like this all the time to help you live a happier life, easier communication with other people, all sorts of wonderful things to improve your existence. So hit the subscribe button, and the bell so that you get notifications when we drop other videos like this, and I will be right back.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
I originally come from a great big Irish Catholic American family, and let me tell you, those people know how to fight, but not all of them know how to fight fairly, which is why a lot of people in that family no longer speak to each other, and frankly, that's a shame, because every single person in my family is a lovely person in one way or another, and I just wish that everyone had the 8 rules for how to fight fairly that I'm about to share with you. Now, as a psychotherapist, this is what I guide people through who are having difficulties in relationships, difficulties with communication. So they are very, very easy rules, but they are rules nonetheless. So if you really are serious about learning this, I recommend that you take some notes here. If you don't have a pen and paper to take notes like that, then open up the comment section and type it in with your thumbs. But just take some notes because it'll help solidify your learning. Okay, number 1, before you launch into the argument, you need to pause and spend just a moment reflecting why you're actually upset. If you are not the person who is upset, you need to pause and consider what that person who is upset has communicated with you to this point. But number 1 is pause and reflect. Okay? Either way, whether you are the offended party, whether both of you are offended, or whether you are the person who has somehow done the offense and the other person is trying to communicate it to you, absolutely reflect and make sure that you enter into this conversation calmly, because nothing is going to happen that ends well when 2 people with hot tempers are going at it. Okay? Not a good plan. All right, so stop and reflect. Rule number 2, one topic at a time. You know what I mean. You've had these conversations with people where they're like, and another thing, and another thing. No, none of that. Do not do that. One topic at a time. If the other person who you're communicating with is throwing another thing and another thing and another thing, get your pen, get some paper, and just start writing down the additional grievances. And if they say, what the heck are you doing? You can say, I'm writing down all the things that you want to discuss, because I'll discuss them, but I will only discuss them calmly, one at a time. And if the other person's not game for that, then allow them to go on and do something else, and you guys can come back to it later when everybody has a cool head. One topic at a time. No lumping of offenses here. We're not building a snowball. We're not, and this and this and this, so we have this huge snowball that we're about to hurl at somebody. No. That is not fair. That is not a fair fight at all. Also, number 3, not a fair fighting component is vulgar language. Just leave it out. What vulgar language does is it inflames you further. It might feel good in that second, but it does not do good things to the part of your brain that helps regulate whether you are out of control, angry, or balanced. So no name calling, leave the vulgar language out, deep breathing, communicate like a respectful adult. If you're being respectful, you're probably not going to use the vulgar language anyway. All right, speak in feelings, and I have a formula for you here. Start your sentences with I. A lot of fights are you did this, and you did this, and you did that. That is very attacking. No. You take responsibility. The first thing was reflect on how you're feeling. So you can take those feelings that you discerned in step 1 and take them into this step 4. Use your words to describe your feelings. And here is your formula. I feel emotion. I feel blank when the event happens. I feel emotion when event. I feel sad when I don't know where you are and I think something bad may have happened. Could you please just touch base with me? Do you see? So try to leave the word you out as much as possible. Only say I. I feel scared when there's yelling. Notice I didn't say I feel scared when you yell at me. That's the offensive again. I feel scared when there is yelling. I feel unsafe when things are getting thrown across the room. Those are a couple of extreme examples, but still, you get what I'm saying. Try to not make it an accusation. Make it a very even statement. I feel unsafe when I'm in a car and the driver is speeding. I feel unsafe when I'm in a car and the driver is texting while they're driving or on the phone or whatever. Okay, so you can say it like that, and it's not an accusation. If the other person is guilty of that, they may still take it as an accusation or as you pointing out something that you don't like that they're doing, but you didn't use the word you. So it wasn't a blatant emotional manipulation type of an accusation there. So use your feelings. That's 4. Number 5, take turns. There's almost nothing worse in an argument than not being able to finish your thought. Take turns. Zip your lip and let the other person go. Now, if they're not giving you a chance to respond, you can hold up your hand. You can say, can we just go a little bit slower? Can I have a turn to respond to what you just said? Or would you like to finish? And I'll take notes on everything that you say so that I'll be able to respond to each point. I want to make sure that I'm listening to you. I want to make sure that I'm hearing you. I want to make sure that I'm understanding your points, that I know how you're feeling. Like, really let them know that you're here to tune into what they're saying, but they need to give you a moment to process, because they can't throw 10 things at you and expect you to retain all of that and then be able to intelligently come back at them or come back with them, maybe not at, but with a response. That's one of the things that escalates arguments really, really, really fast. All right. Let's see, what number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do not stonewall. Do not stonewall. There's 8, by the way, if you're like, how many is she gonna have? There's 8 rules. What is stonewalling? Stonewalling means you don't like how things are going, so you just shut up, ball up, go into your little cave, you won't respond. Sometimes this involves the silent treatment, and what you need to know if you ever use the silent treatment, that is a form of emotional abuse. It is wrong of you to do. The silent treatment and refusing to respond to an abusive person usually are 2 different things. They can be synonymous. It just depends on the energy behind it. But don't stonewall. If you don't feel like you can discuss what's being discussed and stay civil, then you need to say, and this is number 7, I need a timeout. So number 6 was don't stonewall. Number 7 is use your ability to take a timeout. You can take a timeout. Look, I'm getting really angry. I don't want to scream at you. I want to discuss this. I know that it's important. I need 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Set a time for your timeout. When you hear the whistles in an American football game and they're like, tweet, tweet, timeout, you know how long that timeout's going to be. They announce it. It's this many seconds or it's this many minutes or whatever. You know how long it's going to be. So take a timeout, but set a time to come back to it. And if both heads aren't level and clear and ready to have a respectful conversation, you can extend your time out, but it needs to be and agreement. Okay. All right. So 6, no stonewalling. 7, take timeouts. And 8, it kind of goes with vulgarity, kind of goes with being respectful, kind of goes with needing a timeout. No yelling. No yelling. Not at all. I had someone the other day accuse me of yelling, and I was like, wait, whoa, 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 back the truck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, back up. I yelled? Did I get a little elevated and had very direct speech, or did I yell at you? Yelling, shouting, screaming, that is not my style. Are you sure? Did I yell? Is that what was going on? No yelling. Yelling makes everything worse. A little bonus one, I suppose this could be a number 9, but a bonus one. It really, really helps if you're willing to compromise, even if you are darn sure that you are 100% correct. Taking a breath and being open to a little bit of flexibility there is going to go a really long way, especially if the argument that you're having is with a loved one. And there's no coincidence to the timing that this video dropped. If you're watching this in some other time of year, I'm glad that you found it. But this is dropping right in the middle of the holiday season. And the reason is that a lot of people are around a lot of family and they fight with them over the holiday season. So there's no coincidence as to the timing of this video dropping. Most of the fights you're going to have that time of year are either with strangers, like road rage things, okay, or with the people who are closest to you, who you've known the longest, those established relationships. And we don't want any words that can't be unsaid to tarnish that. So a little bit of flexibility in your heart and in your intention goes a long way in not only repairing damage, but building new bridges together. All right, those are your 8.5 or 9 rules for how to fight fairly. If this video was of help to you, give me a thumbs up. And otherwise, check and see if you're a subscriber. And if not, click that subscribe button and the little bell so you learn the next time we drop a video like this to help you have a happier life and better communication with all those beautiful people who matter. See you soon.